Good morning, creators, and welcome to another UEFN tutorial. This is episode 7 of the Landscape Paint Maestro series. So if you haven't seen the rest of the episodes, please check out the playlist linked in the description. And without further ado, let's get into it. So in this video, we want to look at normal corrected slope masks, which is basically just like, look at this asset that Epic has, where you'll notice if I rotate this, even though there's no actual vertices on this mesh that would make snow appear here, the normals do. So anything that points upwards should have the snow layer on it. That's what we want to accomplish. So how are we going to do that? Well, we actually could just use the slope mask node to our advantage. It has two inputs here that we haven't messed around with: tangent normal and slop angle, which should say slope angle, but it says slop angle. But tangent normal, that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to just copy these two. Now, when I copy a parameter, if it has the same name still, it will use the same parameter as this. I just want to go into one of my paints. And you can make this affect the whole slope mask or just one of the slope masks. It's really up to you how you want to manage this. I'm going to paste this in here. And so this is the one that had two layers of stone. It had like a stone layer and then had that scree layer, if you remember that. This is where the grass gets blended, so I'm going to leave that over there. But basically this, we're going to break, actually we're going to use get material attributes. And we're going to add normal. We want to get the normal. And so the great thing about this is the normal is already in tangent space, so we can just plug that directly into the tangent normal, like so. And then we'll put this in replacement of the slope mask to start with, just to see what that looks like. Give it a second. And you'll see, we start to see some rocks appear where the normals don't point up. So we kind of have this nice gradient here. Now, that might not be what you want. So, you might want plain grass on top. In that case, I like to use the slope mask that we originally created, and we're going to max it with our slope mask here. That way, the grass is always grassy on top. While I wait on that, I'm going to go ahead and create some new parameters to work with. So I'm going to take this and rename it to fall off power normal correction. And then name this to cheap contrast normal correction. So I know that this is associated with this slope mask, and the one down here should remain, yeah, fall off power and cheap contrast. So these are separate parameters. This way I could just use these two values for adjusting this normal correction slope mask. And then we'll combine it however we feel like. So eventually this should compile, and then I can look inside of the editor and just adjust these two scalars till I get what I want. All right, now we can kind of see what we're accomplishing here. You'll notice there's some grass on this scree pattern here. There's some grass on these walls. It's really cool. I mean, it adds a lot of detail without doing too much. I would like to point out that you could very easily just utilize this. Like if you have the same wall with the same normals, you could just replace your slope mask with it. Like you basically just, let me do that for you here. You would, let me take these two. Just copy all of this. And then, wherever slope mask 2 is, which is what I was using here, I would replace it with the max of slope mask 2 and this. So this would go into the slope mask 2. But not all of my textures have that scree pattern, so I'm not going to use that. But if you did, if they were all uniform, you could very easily just override that so that you don't have to do the same calculation for every single paint. It's just done for all of them. And that will be more optimized than doing it for each paint. I just wanted to show you that if you adjust these parameters, you'll get different levels of grass on these normals. So let me just try to mess around with them, see what happens. So if I go for much lesser fall off power, it will kind of overcorrect for the normals. But if I have this nice blend, it actually looks kind of cool. Let's look at these rocks here. Notice how the rocks are like peeking out. That's pretty cool. I actually really like that. So this adds a lot of nice detail. And the cheap contrast is just like how contrasty it is. And you can invert this if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. That's kind of janky. But you can go for like really contrasty where it's basically just a 0 or 1 bit mask. But just find that balance. I mean, it looks really cool. A lot of opportunities here. I mean, it looks really overgrown. I bet it would look cool on the snow biome as well. So, I mean, I might try to do that in a sec. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So, if you found this helpful, please consider subscribing, leaving a like. This might be the last episode of the series, but if there's anything you're interested in related to landscapes, I will create more videos if there's requests. So, leave them in the comments. But good luck creating and have a great day.